The Tahlori and humanity, a bond forged in fire. The stars were no longer serene. For centuries, we Tahlori had observed the cosmos in contemplative silence, our collective consciousness weaving through the fabric of existence. But now that silence was shattered by the encroaching shadow of a predator, the Vorithan. Their signal had transformed from a faint distortion into a blaring alarm, an announcement of their hunger for conquest. The Vorithan were ancient, far older than any species we had encountered. They were a race of biomechanical beings, their forms a grotesque fusion of organic life and ruthless machinery. Legends told of their origins as an advanced civilization that had sought to transcend mortality, uploading their consciousness into vast networks of living metal. But something had gone terribly wrong. Over millennia, their pursuit of perfection devolved into a consuming madness. They no longer sought knowledge or growth. They sought only to dominate, to assimilate, to erase anything that was not themselves. Their fleets moved like a swarm of blackened locusts, consuming everything in their path. Planets, moons, even the lifeless husks of asteroid colonies were reduced to dust. The Vorithan did not conquer for resources or territory. They devoured for sustenance, their ships feeding on the energy signatures of entire worlds. Our first encounter with the Vorithan was not one of words, but of devastation. An outlying Tahlori research colony was the first to fall. We detected the attack too late to intervene. When we arrived, the colony was gone, its crystalline structures reduced to ash. The gestalt mind of the colony had been shattered, its echoes fading into the void. What little we could recover painted a grim picture. The Vorithan's tendrils, both physical and digital, had ripped through the colony's defenses in mere moments. For the first time in eons, we knew fear. Our Council of the Eighth Spire convened in desperation. Strategies were debated, defenses fortified, and alliances with distant civilizations considered. Yet, as their shadow loomed ever closer, we faced an unsettling reality. We were outmatched. The Vorithan fleet reached our homeworld, an armada blotting out the stars. Their weapon, a supermassive particle beam capable of obliterating entire continents, charged in orbit, its light searing our skies. On the surface, the Tahlori gathered in defiance, our energy fields straining against the unimaginable power of the assault. But we knew it was futile. Despair had seeped into our collective, and the fabric of our unity began to unravel. Their attack was precise and merciless. Swarms of Vorithan drones descended through our atmosphere, their razor-sharp appendages slicing through defenses with horrifying efficiency. Entire districts of our crystalline cities were reduced to rubble in moments. The air was filled with the cacophony of destruction, shattering crystal, searing energy, and the unrelenting hum of Vorithan machines. For every drone we destroyed, more seemed to pour forth from their ships, an unending tide of annihilation. And then, at the very moment of collapse, the void itself came alive. From the darkness of the starfield, humanity arrived. Their fleet emerged in a blaze of light and sound, a chaotic storm of energy and defiance. Rugged and angular ships roared into the fray, their hulls bearing the scars of battles fought and won. Humanity's intervention was nothing short of miraculous. They had heard our ancient distress beacon, a call we had sent out of desperation centuries ago, never expecting it to be answered. Humanity's flagship, a colossal vessel named Eternal Resolve, led the charge. It matched the largest of the Vorithan vessels, its surface bristling with weapons of staggering power. Without hesitation, humanity unleashed their arsenal. Kinetic projectiles, plasma lances, and immense warheads tore into the Vorithan fleet. Their tactics were audacious, almost reckless, as they plunged into the heart of the enemy lines, buying us precious moments to regroup. Tahlori Command, this is Captain Rena Carter of the Eternal Resolve. Their leader's voice cut through the chaos, calm yet resolute. We're here. Hold your ground. You're not alone. The Tahlori, inspired by their sudden appearance, rallied. Our energy field strengthened, shielding humanity's ships as they weaved through the onslaught. Our crystalline vessels moved in tandem with theirs, forming a defensive network that confounded the Vorithan's assault. The battle raged across the heavens. Humanity's ingenuity shone in every maneuver, every calculated risk. They deployed a daring plan to disable the superweapon, a plan that spoke of both desperation and brilliance. A team of human pilots, flying experimental craft. Their ships, small and agile, evaded swarms of enemy drones, their movements precise and unyielding. One by one they fell, their sacrifices opening a path for the final pilot. Against all odds, the last craft delivered its payload, a warhead of unimaginable power that detonated within the Vorithan vessel, collapsing its core and silencing the weapon. The explosion rippled through the Vorithan fleet, sowing chaos and confusion. Humanity pressed the advantage, their fleet tearing into the enemy with unrelenting ferocity. The Tahlori joined in the counterattack, unleashing a surge of raw energy that severed the Vorithans' coordination. When the battle finally ended, the silence was deafening. The skies, once filled with fire and destruction, now held the shimmering remains of what had been. Humanity's fleet, battered but victorious, drifted alongside our own. For the first time in centuries, the galaxy took a collective breath. In the aftermath, the bond between humanity and the Tahlori deepened. They had arrived when we needed them most, and in doing so, they taught us the value of courage and sacrifice. We shared with them the secrets of our ancient wisdom, and together we began to rebuild, not as isolated civilizations, but as allies bound by shared purpose. The rebuilding process was monumental. The ruins of our cities became the foundations of new, hybrid marvels, structures that blended Tahlori crystal architecture with humanity's bold engineering. The cultural exchange was profound, our once detached observation of the universe replaced with active collaboration. Together, we founded the Celestial Accord, a coalition dedicated to protecting the galaxy from existential threats. New fleets were built, blending our technologies into vessels that were both elegant and formidable. To honor the lives lost, both Tahlori and human, a grand monument was constructed on the plateau where we first made contact centuries ago. It was a towering structure of crystalline light and human metals, its form symbolizing unity and resilience. Inscribed upon its surface were the names of every being who had fallen in the battle, accompanied by a simple yet profound message: together we endure. Yet the scars of the conflict lingered. The Vorithan, though scattered, were not eradicated. Their shadow remained a lurking threat, a reminder that vigilance was now a necessity. Their surviving remnants retreated to the dark edges of the galaxy, nursing their wounds and their hatred. We knew that one day they might return. Humanity, once a species we had doubted, became our closest allies. Their spirit, so driven by individuality yet capable of unity, infused our collective consciousness with newfound resolve. And we in turn shared our knowledge of the cosmos, of energy manipulation, of the infinite possibilities within the stars. For humanity, the battle became a defining moment. Across their fleets and colonies, tales of their triumph spread like wildfire. Songs and epics immortalized the bravery of the pilots who sacrificed everything, and the eternal resolve became a symbol of hope and resilience. For the Tahlori, the battle marked a shift in our essence. We who had once observed became participants. The Gestalt consciousness, long a passive stream of observation, now pulsed with active determination. Through humanity, we learned the value of individuality in complementing the collective, finding strength not just in unity, but in diversity. Our council expanded to include human representatives, their perspectives a refreshing counterpoint to our own. In the centuries that followed, the Celestial Accord grew beyond our two peoples. Other civilizations, emboldened by our unity, joined the coalition. Together, we mapped the galaxy's uncharted territories, uncovering ancient relics and forgotten secrets. But vigilance remained. The Vorithan were not forgotten. In the outer reaches, the Accord maintained sentinel fleets, ever watchful for signs of their return. And when faint signals, twisted and ominous, began to echo from the dark expanses, we knew the struggle was not yet over. Standing on the plateau where the monument shimmered under the human sun, I felt a surge of resolve. I had been Neora, once an observer, now a voice among many. Humanity and the Tahlori had forged a bond in the crucible of fire. Together we had endured. Together we would face whatever came next.
I hope you enjoyed this story. Please share, like, and subscribe for more content.